Tell me, come and lay beneath my wings.
Hello, my dear friends. It's me, Virginia Schmidt of Divinity Ranch, still coming at you from my amazing family's house in Tennessee. So grateful to be here. I hope this finds all of you breathing through your noses and perhaps making your exhales longer than your inhales. Also, another fun thing I found out about from the book Breath by James Nestor, which I'm getting closer and closer to being done with now. I think I have about 40 pages left, is so when you are doing your exhale through your nose, you can just add a little hum, maybe like this. Here's an example. I'm going to make my inhale 4 seconds, my exhale 8 seconds, and add a hum. Sounds kind of like Om, right? So the fun thing that I found out today is that humming actually releases more nitrous oxide into our system, which has a lot of benefits for us. So there are actual benefits to humming, which probably isn't very surprising, right? And I also, a lot of you probably know, and I'm sure I'll touch more on this later, each note of humming can relate to a different chakra. So, and some of you probably know which notes correlate with each chakra. I'm not much of a music person. However, I'm learning a lot, and I know a lot of you are, and am looking forward to collaborating with you guys. By the way, if any of you, and I am going to get to my YouTube comments, I promise you guys, stay with me. I will reply to those comments. If any of you are musicians or have other, just any of your gifts that you want to share in this Divinity Ranch community, things that, or whether it's writing or music, things that I can incorporate into featuring you and sharing you and maybe using your music in the videos or reading your writings, that is the kind of thing that I really want to start bringing more into this. And I just want to give a big shout out to so many of my friends on this channel, you guys, and so many of you that have been such great teachers to me. I was just telling my friend Noel today that I hope he starts his own YouTube channel, just like so many of you could. I've learned so much from you guys. I just want to send out just so much love to so many of my friends out there who have been here since the beginning, Steve, Lindy, Nemo. You guys know who you are, and I love you so much, and I'm so thankful for you guys. And a big shout out to my friend Claire, who sent me my first ever message today through divinityranch.com, and thank you so much. It meant so much to me. So what I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about today is finding your happy place. So my cousin, Katie, who is my best friend in the world, who I'm here staying with, is going through, she is a licensed therapist, and we were talking about personal things as well. And she was looking up some mechanisms, some practices to help when you feel that panic or sympathetic nervous system response come on. And this tied in with something really beautifully for me. So I want to share this practice with you guys and then take it a little bit further, talking about exactly what it looks like for me. So, or an example of what came to me in it. So it's just whenever you're having a dark thought, looking around you, and again, we'll come back to that. This could be within. For now, I'm going to focus on the outside because I think this is really cool and perhaps sort of gives us a clue as to why aesthetic can be really powerful for our spiritual health, like how the material can help our energetic and emotional state. So if you're having a dark thought that is creating a dark feeling, and this will be something we get into more because I feel that I've read different things where which comes first, the thought or the feeling. And we will talk about that more. Right now, I'm reading a phenomenal book called The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne, the same person who wrote The Secret, and I'll link to that here. I'm listening to it on Audible, and she reads it. I would recommend that if you like listening. My friend Susie gifted it to me for Christmas on Audible. And so just today, I want to tie this in because the secret, or the greatest secret, this book is talking about how it is our thoughts that then create this feeling. And always, of course, depending on the vibration that thought is at, that is the emotion it's going to generate, this sort of resonance, right? So that being said, the idea of what I'm going to talk about with finding your happy place or looking around at things that make you happy is that we can replace a negative thought with a positive one, and then positive feelings or emotions are going to come from that. Now, this is just, it's a helpful mechanism and practice. It's just something to have in your little toolkit on the healing journey. None of this is necessarily the end-all be-all. They're just helpful tools and practices that we can share with each other here so that we can get closer to the happiness and love that we truly are, right? And the whole idea of this as well is that happiness, access to happiness and peace exist within us at all times. So it's the underlying point of all of this is that no matter what circumstance we're in, no matter what we're surrounded by, literally no matter what, no one and nothing can take us away from our access to every emotion, every state of being that is. All those infinite possibilities exist within us. Therefore, peace, happiness, joy, love, these are always within us, and this is our natural state. As the greatest secret talks about, what's a clue to us that this is our natural state? How easy it is when when we're there, how it requires no effort to feel, no energy to feel and be the happy, joyous, peaceful love that we are. Whereas how exhausting does it feel to have to sustain or feel like we have to, or get caught in those cycles of sustaining a negative emotion. So coming to a happy thought to help to bring us to a happy place and within ourselves and a happy emotion. My cousin shared with me the other morning this practice that's been really powerful for her, which is to look around you and see it. So it's just like practicing gratitude, right? You look around you and you find just anything that takes you to a happy place or a happy state, that reminds you of something, that brings a happy thought, that can then break that sympathetic, panicky, anxiety attack, anger, whatever cycle, and take you to a happy place instead. So, also, okay, I'll surprise you guys with this. So my cousin said something really powerful that really tied in for me with this idea of me wanting to bring like fashion and aesthetic and productions and plays and movies into Divinity Ranch. And she was just saying, I think this is why aesthetic matters. Like, right? Because when we and of course, the aesthetic, whatever setting we're in, really is just like the set or stage of a play, as this life to who we truly are in the next level is exactly the same as what a play or a book or a movie is to us compared to this life. So my cousin is a very, very deep spiritual person and doesn't put a lot of merit or worth or focus in material things. However, this was a great point I thought that she made, which was, so the point of aesthetic things then is that they can bring us joy, right? To surround ourselves as much as we can, even in the tiniest little ways, with things in the material world that when we focus on are like cues or indicators, just like say a breathing practice or a reminder even on our phone or whatever, that reminds us to go to a happy place. And I was like, yes, that totally reminds me of some writing that I've done before, a la Natalie Goldberg. And I'll go ahead and put a link in here as well to Natalie Goldberg's books, Writing Down the Bones, Wild Mind, and The Great Spring, Writing Zen in This Zig-Zag Life. Natalie Goldberg is a great teacher of mine, and for any of you who are writers, she's amazing. But beyond that, she's amazing. This is something that Natalie talks about. She talks about in your writing how you need to earn making big impersonal statements with personal details. She doesn't use those words I'm using. So another way to say that would be earn making big universal statements with specific details. So an example of this is telling you want to come to this place where you say love is all there is. And the way that you earn that in your writing or storytelling, it's like a perfect metaphor for the whole reason that we're here on earth. The way that you earn that or paint that picture or make it real in this play is through the details. So I'm telling you love is all there is at the end of a paragraph where I am explaining the leaf that I saw falling so slowly to the ground, where I'm explaining something that truly happened to me the other morning of sitting here in Tennessee in the hot tub, watching the snow fall, watching this white world, and suddenly there's this splash of red, and it's this gorgeous cardinal coming to present himself. And those are the details. Yes, it's the physical world. Yes, in a way, this is an illusion. It's a play, and we have brought ourselves into the details of this, into this personal, to remind ourselves of those larger impersonal truths of being love, of being eternal. We are in time to remember the timeless. And we earn isn't really the right word. I'm using that from a writer or storyteller sense. It's more like we share with ourselves in a meaningful, personal way those impersonal truths by linking these finite details, these forms, to the formless. So that being said, when my cousin was talking about how powerful this was for her, that every time she was having a panic thought and a sympathetic nervous system response, she looked around in her environment and found something that brought her to a happy place and that she linked with joy. So she found personal objects that brought her to that impersonal remembrance, that universal remembrance that it's all good. Literally, it is all good. So it reminded me of an idea I had a long time ago, and I have written about quite a bit of whenever I love fashion and I love clothes, like and you know, that you're like, oh, you're so spiritual. Like, why do you love that? Well, I think this kind of starts, here's why. It brings me joy. And just a fun fact about me, when I was a little girl, one of my best friends and I, Maria Miller, started a magazine that we would cut out all these pictures of other magazines from and then write these stories in colored pencils called Fashion Is It Your Passion? So that is a big part of what I love. And instead of making that meaningless, like making aesthetic meaningless, or even making the world or the material meaningless, it's more about finding those beautiful threads of connection in the material world that bring us back to that larger picture of that tapestry, right? So it's finding the universal, formless, infinite meaning in the specific form, finite worlds. And so that all being said, I've written several times where I'll do a writing practice, and you guys might like do this in some capacity with anything that you wanted to. I'll do a writing practice where I will go to each of my pieces of clothing that I'm wearing and tell the story, of where I got it and what they mean to me. So sure, like clothes, like, oh, that's so shallow and material. And yet, because of the eternal links to love that all of these articles have to me, it's actually the opposite of that. It's very, very meaningful. So I'm gonna use my outfit today as an example, and hopefully I'll be able to get everything in the frame. I just wanted to show you guys this. Wouldn't it be cool if I wore glasses? These are my cousins. So this is a perfect example. I don't wear glasses. Another fun fact about me, I used to cheat on eye exams, as in pretend to do worse than what I could really see when I was little, because I wanted to wear glasses so much. So these are my cousin's glasses, and I just wanted to show those to you. Anytime that I see tortoiseshell glasses like this anywhere, I'm reminded of my cousin, and then I go to that happy place of the love and relationship that we share. Now I will share with you guys about the outfit I'm wearing right now. So, like, I mean, I won't go too much into detail. It's just to remind you that you can look around and find something in your environment that somehow links to and brings you to a happy place. And you can replace whatever negative thought is going on with a positive one that will then correlate with positive emotions. So here we go. So for instance, this silk scarf I recently got in Cody, Wyoming with my very good friend Elise. So meaningful and connected to Elise. This vest I got at Head West in Bozeman, Montana with my then boyfriend at the time, Kaylin. This shirt I have had for 10 years now, and I got it in Yarmouth, or was it Portland, Maine, with one of my best friends, Chelsea Eddy, and I've had it for forever. And then also I have done writing and had relationships with Toad & Co., the outdoor brand of which this shirt was made. This garnet necklace I got at Eternal Ice out in Powell, Wyoming, after my friend Fred told me about Eternal Ice, and garnet is my birthstone. Also, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm turning 31. So this was a Christmas gift from my friend Wiley, this mala, which I've already talked to you guys about. This ring is really a story that I need to tell in greater detail. It's so synchronistic and beautiful. Also, I just want to quickly share with you guys, I don't think I'm going to quite get it right. A thought I had recently about what are synchronicities. And it made me, just speaking of that, like the specific things that weave the eternal tapestry, that I think is the beauty of synchronicities. It's like the seemingly disparate things that show us that everything is united if we're willing to just follow and weave that thread. So paying attention to synchronicities. So this was given to me by my dear friends Rebecca and Cynthia Weed in a beautiful synchronistic moment, and it's actually a ring of their sister, may she rest in peace, Elizabeth, who died 27 years ago when she was 16 years old. So this is in honor of you, Elizabeth, and I'm so honored to have her spirit with me. This, which I've already showed in a past video, I got at a beautiful thrift shop in Pine Strawberry, Arizona, with two of my best friends in the world, Nick and Jesse. Shout out to you guys. Let's see, what else? Oh, these earrings I got in Australia. They're actually my cousin's because I gave them to her. So these were a gift from me to my cousin that I'm wearing because I'm here visiting. Now let's see if I can do this without being scratchy or ruining the frame, because I have recorded my videos in the past on selfie mode so that I can make sure the frame's good. Alicia has informed me that the quality is much better if I do it this way, so I can't really see what you guys can see. So this skirt I just got at REI with my cousin Katie. So again, Katie. These leggings, which are also Toad & Co. So that links to like my friend Gordon, who is one of the founders of Toad & Co. And I believe I may have gotten these in Maine too, but what these make me think of is one of my best friends in the world, Jonelle, who for many years when we lived together, she has these exact same leggings, and so it would always be like, oh, what size are those? Are those yours or mine? And we would both wear each other's. This, I want to make sure I'm not brushing the microphone. So these socks I got for Christmas from my brother Hal and my sister-in-law Jamie. And these shoes, which I'm very, very excited about, I got as a Christmas present from my dear friend Elise, the same one with whom I got this scarf. So at any time, I can come to any one of these pieces of clothing and like, yeah, it's about fashion and like, I love the way things go together and that aesthetic. More than that, it's about the energy and, again, energetic association with each of these material things. And anything can be something that can help bring you to your happy place. Some things are going to be more of a struggle than others, but at any time we can look around us and find something that brings us to our happy place. And Even if it's looking on your own body, there's always something. And I feel confident in saying that in any setting that we're in, even if it seems very terrible, if we ask to receive, we will be shown, our eyes will be drawn, we will see one thing that we can look at and can help us have a happy thought that can bring us to our happy place. So I'd love to hear from you guys, like, what are things that bring you to your happy place right now, maybe even in the setting you're in as you're watching this video, looking around, what is something that can bring you to that happy place? And any advice that you guys have for going to the happy place, I want to hear it. So I love you guys very much, and I'm going to sign off with these glasses because, you know, I'm not letting go of that dream. Luckily, they're not very strong, so I can still see you. Remember to keep breathing through your nose. Keep humming. Keep going to that happy place as often as you can. There are so many reminders of what to be grateful for. They are everywhere. Redemption and resurrection are everywhere if we just look and ask for them. I hope that every time you come to the state, the vibration, the place that isn't physical and can be associated with physical places and will, and is the place and state of Divinity Ranch, that Divinity Ranch is somewhere that you associate with your happy place. I love you guys very much. I'm very proud of you. I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Till then, see you at the happy place.
Tell me, come